Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think a lot of it just comes from a lot of musicians being pretty easygoing people. I've run into a lot of that in the music scene. A lot of people just kind of, oh, this happened. Yeah, all right. Well, it's cool. It's like
Yep.
nothing's really gets
Yep.
too many of us too worked up about anything. So you play guitar with Tank Anthony Band, correct?
Yeah, I'm playing rhythm guitar and I'm singing backups. I would say I was probably asked to join the band for the vocal part.
All right.
And guitar has kind of been something that's been kind of evolving over time as sort of a side effect, I guess.
All right. So did you start out like I would say? Did you start out as a vocalist? Was that like what you were primarily doing? Like, how did they find you as just a vocalist then?
Yeah, well, that's a great question. I've been singing in like school choirs and stuff since I was a kid, and it was more like a traditional choral setting. I went to the Catholic school in Fort Dodge, so
Okay.
at St. Ed's it was very much so kind of a traditional kind of Christian choral music setting. And I went to school with Alex Trevino. So
No way. That's cool.
Yeah, I've known him since he was just a little kid, and yeah, so he was kind of the one that when the time came, he kind of knew that I sang and that I specifically that I was pretty good around harmonies and things like that, and it wouldn't be something that he would have to bring me up to speed there. And then yeah, so he brought me in. He also knew I was learning guitar at the time, so he's like, we can get you up to speed on the guitar as well, but I need someone who can kind of sing a really confident, like higher harmony for what we're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, man, harmonies are not easy. It's funny because a lot of people are like, you just need to sing the harmonies on this, and it's like, well, it's easier said than done on some songs because if you don't know where you're supposed to go with some harmonies on some songs, it's at least for me, I just haven't done much of it. Like, was that something that you just like learned in school and now it's easy to you, like second nature? Or
Yeah, so that's and that's where I feel like mentioning my very very first introduction into music really makes sense, because when you're in that traditional choral rehearsal and you're there with the whole choir, you'll have the director might go to the sopranos and say, okay, everyone kind of be quiet, I'm working with sopranos, then the altos, then tenors, then basses, and so you're sitting there and you're hearing every part like on a certain line, and then after everyone's kind of been able to work out the kinks of their line, then everyone sings together. And so I just spent years and years sitting in a room where I was kind of toying around with like oh, I can hear that part during this section of the song, or I would toy around and like try to sing with another voice part like while they're doing their own thing. And so I think by like high school I just really had an ear for it, and yeah, I didn't really notice that it was just something that was like unique. I just kind of I was just around it so much that it became very natural, and yeah.
I could see that for sure. Like just having constant exposure to it kind of just makes it second nature. I mean,